Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds Podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. Do you like your stories told through pictures? Then you can also follow us at Real Nerds on Instagram. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Camera, action!
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd can...
talk film! I'm sorry.
Take it outside.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action! Real nerds.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the best movie podcast on the internet, Real Nerds Podcast. I am Ryan, and I am joined with Brad.
Hey.
Brad, welcome.
Wow, what a exhausting convention. I am wiped.
I know, right? Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week, we uncovered Indiana Jones' newest adventure in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Stay tuned. We will recommend the film or not, play the trailer, then spoil the movie. Usually we talk about movie news and what we watch throughout the week, but I'm going to change the format this week. I know.
I don't know if I can handle this. You're overcomplicating it for me.
So I thought this week we would just recap our time at Denver Fan Expo.
That's what I was thinking we should do.
Wow, same wavelength.
Yeah, because there's not really any worthwhile news. Everything's on strike, so
yeah,
we can talk about what we've been watching, and then all the fun we had this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, it's what we do.
Let's do it.
Nice. Brad, do you recommend Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
It's fine. It's a fine movie. I'm not someone who hated Crystal Skull. That was another movie that was like, I enjoyed seeing Indiana Jones on the screen again, but and I appreciate that the plot fits that period of time. But like this one, I'm kind of baffled that if this is really Indy's last adventure, I'm just kind of disappointed that this is the story they went with. So yeah.
I had a lot of fun with this one. I think there's some character beats that are really great in it. I think the adventure is fun. And I saw this in 4DX, which when I was in Tennessee, the 4DX theater there is huge. And so, the Denver one has, 4 seats in each, I guess, thing that shakes or whatever. This one does too, but it had like twice as many seats, and the theater there was a Regal, but it was really cool. So it had 4DX, RPX, IMAX, and 10 other theaters. It was right next door to the Grand Ole Opry, and it was like had a cool 90s vibe to it. It was a really cool theater.
Why does Tennessee, who hates liberal Hollywood, have such a fancy ass theater?
I know, right? Actually, when I was there too, totally off topic, and I'll play the trailer after this. So if we ever go to Tennessee, there's a theater there called the Full Moon Theater, and there's 2 options. You can buy dinner and the movie, or you can just see the movie. And every Friday and Saturday, they show an old horror movie. So this week, or this week when I was out there, it was They Live, and they had dinner like themed to it. And then the following week it was Jaws, and then it was like Friday the 13th. Like, that's an awesome idea for a freaking theater.
You just described the Alamo. I don't.
Yeah, but they only show old horror movies, and it's called Full Moon, and you'd have to see pictures online. It's pretty cool.
So
And
they're
they do
only open
special
on the
events there.
so they're only open on the weekends, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like a Hollywood movie Monday through Friday.
No, it's very niche.
Cool.
Yeah, but no, I actually had a lot of fun with it. Here's a trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
I'm retiring.
Well, in that case, what are we drinking?
Same for the goddaughter.
Dad told me you found something on a train during the war. A dial that could change the course of history.
Why are you chasing the thing that drove your father crazy?
Don't move. We need to get out of here. Stop! Sorry.
Dr. Jones, get him. Hitler made mistakes, and with this, I will correct them all. You stole it. Then you stole it.
And then I stole it. It's called capitalism.
This way!
Fasten your seatbelt. There might be some turbulence.
You've taken your chances, made your mistakes. And now, a final triumph.
Give him hell, Indiana Jones! A few times in my life, I've seen things. I've been tortured with voodoo. Been shot 9 times, including once by your father. Sorry! But I've been looking for this all my life.
We open this film, Brad, flashback, 1940, Nazis are losing. And they're after a dial, which supposedly is used.
They're after the Lance of Longinus.
Oh, that's right. So they're after that, and we see Indy is on board a train trying to... No, he starts out being captured, dressed up as a Nazi, and him and his compadre are looking for this too. The Nazis, which they are known to do during World War II, would steal art and artifacts for themselves. And we meet Mads Mikkelsen's diabolical professor. And
You don't even remember his name, do you?
no, I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
It's Schmidt. I do remember it.
Yeah, he that's his like American name is Schmidt, but he reveals it's von something later on in the movie. A completely forgettable sequence.
I don't know. It was fun. I thought the de-aging looked pretty good. I didn't really think de-aging was distracting. Did you?
There are a couple parts where it kind of got deep fakey, but the thing no one's talking about is that they de-aged Mads Mikkelsen for those sequences too.
That's Dr. Voller.
Dr. Voller, yeah. So like I didn't even put it together the first time I watched it that he was like, oh yeah, they made him look younger, as well, because everyone's focused on Indy. But yeah, like, his character is also like, 30 years older from the time that the dial quest happens versus the train thing. So.
Yeah. And, so Basil Shaw is Indiana Jones's, I don't know if he just, is a coworker or works with him or just a friend.
I think he's another professor.
Yeah, so they're after this. He's captured. So is Indy, but in typical Indiana Jones fashion, he gets out of the situation kind of by dumb luck. And he gets on the train, and
Yeah,
they
I'm not sure.
discover the dial. And
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm not sure why they were like. Did they mention that they were after the Lance as well? Because
I
everyone just kind
believe
of
so.
happens upon the Architectura, whatever. I can't remember the name of that thing. It's just the dial.
No. The dial.
It has a specific name that
It's like
Archimedes
Dial
gave it.
Damascus or something.
Yeah, it's like the Arcterra or something.
Yeah. So, anyways, they find one half of it. They escape. We flash forward to the day or the parade for the moon landing. With all those.
I thought it was the return of the astronauts from the moon landing.
Yeah, exactly. So they're celebrating the ticker tape parade in New York City. And
Antikythera. That's what it's called.
Yep. Sounds right.
Sorry, keep interrupting.
I know. Is this your first fucking podcast? Jesus Christ.
I'm doing research. Screw you.
Yeah. Oh, we also left out that the Lance was fake. So anyways, we go back to 1969. Indiana Jones now is how old Harrison Ford actually is. He's retiring, and he's teaching his last class. I thought it was interesting that now everyone thinks, archaeology is boring because it's cool to go to the moon, which is a really big change from Raiders, where all the students are female and they all have crushes on him. And there is something different about this Indy. He seems a little more weary. He seems a little sad. We also learned that Marion has issued him divorce papers. If you remember back at the end of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they got married, and now he got divorce papers. They don't mention the son right away, Mutt. That comes up a little later. Anyways, while Indy is going to be retired, we do learn that Dr. Voller is now Schmidt, and he helped create the rocket that sent the men to the moon. And he is also tracking down the other half of the dial that was broken in two. And so he is a Nazi in disguise, and he has a bunch of people working with him. He's also fooled the United States government in thinking that he needs this stuff. Which leads them to Indiana Jones's college, where he is keeping it, and we meet his goddaughter, who's Basil's father, Helena, and she steals the dial from Indy, and she is not interested in putting it in a museum. She is a black market art dealer. But she is a fun character. Schmidt's henchmen show up, kill people rather cold-bloodedly in the university. And, Indy doesn't want to get involved, but he does because he doesn't want it to fall into the Nazis' hands. And it leads them on another adventure across the world. And I don't know, I had a lot of fun with it. And I thought there was some clever callbacks. When he's on the ship and he's talking to Helena about what happened to his son Mutt, and he was killed in Vietnam. I shed a tear. I was like, oh man, that's fucking brutal.
There's definitely some good dramatic moments for sure.
Because Harrison Ford, I think, is so great in that moment because you feel the weight on him. You know what I mean?
Well, I think one of my favorite lines from the movie is when they're getting away from that ship, and Helena and Teddy are laughing it up, and Indy's just like, "What are you doing? My friend was just murdered."
Yeah.
He's definitely not the fun adventurer that he used to be.
No, not at all. It's and when he tells a story to Helena, then you figure you understand why. That because even that moment too, where she says, "Do you have any regrets, or what would you do differently if you could go back in time?" And he says, "I'd stop my son from going to war because then he would be dead," or I forget how it's worded, but it's so blunt and matter of factly. It breaks my heart.
Mhm.
And what's going through Indiana Jones is what so many parents went through during Vietnam, and anytime there's a war, really. And it just really humanized Indiana Jones more, because when we think of him from Raiders or Temple or even The Last Crusade and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, he's kind of somewhat of a superhero, and he's funny. But this one, he's in a different spot, and I actually really applaud the filmmakers for going that route.
Yeah, but I just wish it was the beginning of the movie and that he got fun by the end of it. Because by the whole movie, he really doesn't. You'd think that first of all, Sala being like, "I want to go on adventures again," then Indy's being like, "Nope, you're going to stay here." It was the first "Aw." Poor Sala. But I feel like these older characters, that's how you would write it, is you would start them as they're having a bummer time, and then going on adventure is going to revitalize the youthfulness of them. But yeah, by the end of the movie, Indiana Jones pretty much wants to die in Italy.
Yeah.
By the end of it, and then he has a nice moment with Marion at the end, but he's I don't get the feeling that he's man, this whole adventure really brought me back to my Raiders of the Ark days. It was more it almost felt like a concessions prize of yeah, life still sucks, but at least I got Marion back. So
yeah, I think I mean, the way I look at it is the years of him doing this have caught up to him, and that moment when you talk about his son was heartbreaking, but there's still lots of fun moments. Also, Antonio Banderas, I guess his new thing is to die in adventure movies.
What's the other one?
Uncharted. He dies really.
That's right. Yeah.
Unceremoniously. I mean, I guess not unceremoniously, but kind of shockingly in that movie as well.
Yeah, that was another one. I was like, man, did this need to be a star character if he's just gonna get taken out like that? I guess it helps you care about him quicker. But
yeah, and I mean, it's shocking, and it shows the depth. And I also like too that Mads Mikkelsen's character, no matter how cold-blooded he seemed, he still wasn't smart enough to do anything. He couldn't understand the language of the dial, so he had to rely on Helena to crack the code, which leads to them escaping from the boat. And even at the end, or the climax, I guess, where Indy tells them that they didn't account for the poles or the gravitational stuff.
Yeah, continental drift.
Yeah, there we go. And so it makes him not the smartest guy, and honestly too, when they
well, that tracks for all the villains. Is there's always something that they didn't pay attention to,
Yeah, you're right.
That bites them in the ass.
But I mean, I was shocked when they went through the rift and they were back in the war. I didn't even know what the war is, which war they go back to.
The Siege of Syracuse or something. But that's another thing where I was like, man, you could have done any time travel sequence and you picked the Siege of Syracuse. I know it's relevant to the opening of the movie, but it's just cinematically, we've seen so many CGI, Roman, Greek, Wrath of the Titans, Clash of the Titans type shit that just didn't feel special. What's cool about Back to the Future is they did the smart thing of oh, I can go back into the other movies. And that's what I was saying earlier about if this is really the last, and I mean, it probably is at this point, but it would have been nice to, take a stroll down memory lane or something. You spent all this time of de-aging Indy. You could have done sequences. You could have had short round in there. He created a whole new, like, so many new characters for some reason, but this Basil Shaw guy could have been, Dr. Ravenwood,
Yeah.
So it's like, it would have been nice for Indy to be like the, oh my God, James Bond, what's his name?
Daniel Craig?
No, the oldest one. Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, like he could have been the Sean Connery role, and like, I don't know, the short round could have been like the one who brings all the energy that this movie needs. And friggin' how many like vehicle chase sequences were there? There was a point where I was sitting there going like, again, like another one of these things. Like, yeah, it's like horse, subway, car, plane. I was just like, oh my God, I think there's like 5 of them. Like, I know you can't do like a Tom Cruise running thing because Harrison Ford's so old, but I don't know. There wasn't like a lot of cool puzzle stuff, like Last Crusade.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a Last Crusade thing. I mean, I guess in Raiders, there's that opening trap segment.
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff in this is just, they talk to this one guy who can translate it. So it's, as an audience person, I want to be able to work out the puzzle myself, a little bit, instead of just like going to somebody who can like translate something and just espouse. It's just a little lazy. Just made me less engaged. But yeah, what else? Yeah, I just thought there's a lot of missed opportunities and way too much reliance on this computer generated stuff, when you look at the trailer for Mission Impossible compared to this, you're just like, I know he's old, but is there really like no on location things you can actually do?
Well, yeah. I get what you're saying. Me, I'm a little more forgiving. I love the character of Indiana Jones. And I thought it was a natural progression for him to be where he's at.
No, I agree. Yeah, like crotchety old man is a very common thing for him to be. That's like when people complain about Luke Skywalker. I'm just like, if you went through what he went through and then just like how is he supposed to stay optimistic like that long,
Yeah.
Like he the First Order came back, like nothing, the Empire came back. There's like nothing he did mattered in the end. Like he should be bummed out. So yeah, but it's just been nice for him to like have some sort of change by the end.
I think there is a softer side. When Marion comes back, I do love the, it hurts right here and things like that. I thought was really sweet.
Yeah. But it's like when she asked him, like, are you back? I'm like, was he gone? Like, did he check out?
Well, she's asking, are you back to being Indiana Jones? Because he was so depressed.
And I don't know if he is back.
Yeah, I think that's the question you need to answer. Because, you're right. At the end of the Siege of Syracuse, he wants to stay. And he has to be knocked out by Helena to get on the plane so they can get out of there. So, I don't know. I think will always be up for debate.
So yeah, you enjoyed it.
I had fun.
I had fun. I just, there's a little bit of like, man, they could have knocked us out of the park and didn't.
So Brad, I would say we had a very successful Denver Fan Expo.
Yeah, that was fun. I saw a lot of faces that were astounded by our Blockbuster booth.
Yeah, I was telling multiple people because a lot of people asked us where we came up with the idea, and I said, well, I came up with the idea that it should be a Blockbuster, but then Brad put it all together. He's really the one who does all the work. I'm the not, I guess, just the person who's like, hey, that'd be cool. Now go do it.
The Puppet Master.
Yes. I'm like Oz, the great and powerful Oz. Where it's really just smoke and mirrors, and I just tell people what to do.
Well, he was working those levers, so there was some effort on his part.
Oh yeah, I mean, I helped put it up after it was already built.
You're basically like a CEO who just, has
I'm
ideas and just expects other people to do the work.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I get paid the big bucks.
I think my favorite reaction to the booth was that one dude at the very end of the weekend who had his own booth. And came in and was like, I don't understand what you guys are doing here. What is this? He'd be like, we just have this 90s themed Blockbuster booth. It's fun. He's like, but how are you making money at it? Like, we're not making money.
Yeah.
In fact, we're losing a lot of money.
Yeah, we lost tons of money that weekend.
He couldn't not understand, like, not everything's capitalism.
I told this one young lady who sat down with us, her name was Sawyer, and she does a Star Wars thing. I can't remember everything she does. She's on the show. She'll talk about it. But I told her we gave up making money and getting tons of followers a long time ago. It's more about just having fun and meeting new people and
entertaining ourselves.
Yeah. And I had a lot of fun this year. And I think we hit the right chord for nostalgia. And I personally really liked when parents were bringing their kids around and they loved the concept and they had to explain to their kids what Blockbuster Video was.
Their kids didn't care at all.
Yeah, the kids didn't give two flying Fs.
Just watching their eyes glaze over, like, can we move on to something else?
And we're like, you can take some candy. That's when they lit up. And all through the week, we had to explain to people, yes, you can take the big ring pops or the red vines. We're literally not charging for them. Mm-hmm. Which I think because that was that guy I told you, people always expect to be constantly be paying for something at the con, and like I told other people, really it's just I get to hang out, be at a con. They give us a space for free. It's an excuse to just hang out around other people like us, and it's fun. I will say this year they had all their panels were pretty much moderated by the Fan Expo people, so I wasn't even picked to moderate panels, so it was a lot less stressful for me. I didn't have to run around the con constantly and try to juggle a schedule while them adding more panels to my plate with stuff I don't know anything about. So it's kind of nice just to sit back and interview people and have fun.
Did it feel like it flew by faster without that, or was it slower for you?
Sure. It flew by much faster because this sounds weird, but not that I get nervous being in front of people, but I have anxiety about being late. So if I knew that I had to moderate a panel, let's say at noon, then all day, every interview, I'd be checking my watch and checking, well, if I leave now, will I get there in enough time? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I had that anxiety, and I didn't have that anxiety this year.
Yeah, if I wasn't required to be at the booth, I would have enjoyed just being able to stand off to the side and just watch people react to it. I think that would have been perfect for me.
You always can. But we were so popular. I mean, and I'm not saying this just to be braggadocious, but we were really popular. This was the first time, honestly, Brad, we had a booth where people were constantly coming to it. You know what I mean?
It was night and day to last year where, our booth was pretty much empty all weekend.
Last year for some reason it just didn't connect the recording studio.
Which now we have those frames, we can make a way better recording studio that actually the panels stay up, but that's that's something we'll do in the future, hopefully. But yeah, there's like we're right across from that like media base or something, and then yeah, it's just like we didn't have like our big name on the backdrop. It was, the table. So when you step back, it just really didn't look like you could tell what it was. It's just like, here's a bunch of merch and some stuff on a table, But the Blockbuster thing, like that's instantly recognizable for a lot of people. And yeah, if there was space to stand off this side and watch it, I would have. The foot traffic in front of our, like not just for us, like that whole section, that whole pathway was crowded just because the spaces are narrow, and if you come up from upstairs and try to get across, that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But
and that gaming arena that they had directly across from us was always busy, always doing something, and yeah, and our booth just really caught people. I mean, our booth was so cool. We got a byline in Westward about it.
Yeah, that was cool. I feel like I've been in Westward before for something else, but if I haven't, I feel like I've checked off a bucket list. That's that's pretty cool. How do we find that?
We were in Westward for, I don't remember what Comic-Con, but this was the first one where we didn't know. And someone tagged us on Instagram and mentioned it, and I didn't even know we were in it.
Yeah, I don't remember how it came up. I mean, I think I found it because you told me, but yeah, I don't. Whoever tagged us on Instagram, thank you.
Yeah, because we don't know, we're stupid. Because the guy who did the article, he was sneaking around the first day, just looking at what's cool. So, yeah, that was a nice, pleasant surprise, and all the people that sat down and talked to us, we had fun with. And I loved our concept, and I think people really gravitated towards our concept. And the Fan Expo people, you were, I don't know where you went when you were gone it wasn't when you went and got more candy. It was,
I think I went to see like a friend's table or something.
Yeah, you did something, and you weren't even gone that long, maybe like 45 minutes. But while you're gone, Fan Expo people came up and said that, podcasts are a dime a dozen, but you guys have a clear vision, and your booth, it was incredible. And it was really nice to hear. And, shout out to your dad for helping get that together.
Yeah.
And,
really
the hard work you did putting it together. It paid off. It really did.
Yeah. With those corner frames now, they're not something we're going to throw away. So,
and I was surprised how fast we were able to put it up and take it down.
I love designing things that are lightweight and easy to travel.
No, and you have to for that shit, because fuck,
Yeah. It may seem lazy, but yeah, just looking around at other people's booths and like all the shit they have to carry and transport and just like how heavy it looks, I'm just like,
yeah,
I would like to
innovate. At the end of the day, it's usually just you and I. So
yeah, like I want to innovate this to be the most streamlined process possible. And yeah, we got in and out so fast. Compared to last year, we were like, are they ever going to tell us to leave? Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And this year, we broke that thing down in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a piece of cake. And, it might sound like we're just bragging, but I honestly was surprised of the huge positive reaction we got. Not that I didn't think it looked great, but, we spent so many years, trying to look cool, and we did all these other things. And for some reason, the little nugget of idea we had of making it a blockbuster video really resonated.
Yeah. For years, the first couple of years when it was Denver Comic-Con, we built our fan base there. But the last, couple of years, obviously, even a little bit before COVID, it kind of felt like things were on autopilot, and a lot of the people, that came up with us had moved on to the things. And without, James was really the big, personable person at the booth. So not having him around anymore is tough. So yeah, like this, it felt like we're kind of relevant again.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm excited, there's no guarantee we'll be there next year. It's always up to the Fan Expo, but, we have a lot of cool ideas for, it would be easy to just bring it back and do another, 94 blockbuster, but,
no. If they only knew what we were doing.
Yep. I don't want to be, too predictable. So I think, you're going to be surprised how we pivot this one.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll strike the same nostalgia nerve that this one did.
Yeah. Real Nerds Podcast. We see a new movie each week, and occasionally we revitalize your we bring back stuff from your past.
Sweet. We watch things throughout the week in a segment I call What We've Been Watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Brad, anything tickle your fancy this week?
Real quick, I guess we should have also said in the last section, thanks for everyone who did sit down and do interviews. It was a lot. And it's going to take a little while to get through them, edit them, and put them out. So, but yeah, I know you're looking for them probably. I haven't forgotten about them. They will be up. But yeah, thanks for sitting down with us and indulging our little rental charade that we did. I wish the prizes could have been cooler, but did you see the booth? It's so expensive looking.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people like the stickers and things like that.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like, man, you're kind of just getting the same stuff that's on the table.
Yeah. It's
But
all right.
Anyway, yeah, so what did I watch this week?
Yeah.
Let's see. I was going to talk about Top Gun Maverick, but I think that would be No Hard Feelings week. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Have you seen Hypnotic?
No.
So Had This Get Made did an episode on it. It's a Robert Rodriguez movie with starring Ben Affleck that came out, I think, February, maybe March.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know of it. I did not watch it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben Affleck is a cop, I think. And then he runs into this organization of hypnotizers. I don't know if it's like actual hypnotism though. They basically just make you see things that aren't there. That's William Fichtner's organization. And that's the trailer. And then I listened to the How This Get Made podcast, and halfway through they reveal that there's a twist in the movie. And I haven't seen the movie yet at this point. So I'm like, okay, stop the podcast. I don't want to know what this twist, like, I can't believe there's like a consequential twist to this movie. And do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so halfway through you find out that, Ben Affleck and Alice Braga, the woman who's like leading him on this journey, are also hypnotists of some kind. Like it's a very loose term for how they like approach hypnotism. Anyway, there's like this back lot where they have all these like wireframe structures of all the stuff you've seen in the movie. So like at one point he goes to a bank and there's a bank robbery or whatever. And he has to like get something out of a safe box. But after the twist, they show you that there's this wireframe made out of pipes or whatever of a bank, basically she and him have this power to make other people see things that they want them to see, and they have this daughter that is the most powerful of them all, and they don't want this agency getting a hold of her and weaponizing her, so they've devised this elaborate plan to create layer upon layer of basically the Matrix against this agency and themselves. Like they've hypnotized themselves into forgetting that they have these powers to protect their daughter.
I don't even know what the fuck you're saying.
I'm it's so convoluted. Not that you're
explaining it poorly. I'm trying to follow what you're telling me, and I don't get it. Yeah,
I'm having trouble remembering because I I watched it all the way through, and then I rewatched some of it just because like I didn't get it the first time. Like, what is going on? And then I listened to that podcast afterwards to help me try to help me explain it. I don't think there really is no way of understanding. I'm just like surprised that like the caliber of talent in this movie, between Robert Rodriguez and then the actors, I'm just like, who read this script and was like, let's do this. Like, this makes sense. It is so hard to follow, and baffling to watch. There's one point where like they go track down this person. God, who was it? Oh, it was, God, what's his name? Rorschach from Watchmen.
Jackie Earl Haley?
Yeah. They go find this guy that they know, who looks like Jackie Earl Haley, and he has like a caretaker. And Alice Braga like makes him think that she's like stowed away in this closet, but it's like, how did she do that without getting in the building? Yeah. And it turns out that Jackie Earl Haley is William Fichtner's character projecting like a mask on himself. Like, so it's like, why did he, if he's trying to stop Ben Affleck, why doesn't he just kill Ben Affleck? And like why have this whole scene where he's pretending to this other guy? Like, he could just be like, oh, I'm wearing a mask and Ben Affleck thinks I'm another guy, so I could just kill him right now and he'd be surprised. But no, he pretends to be the other guy for like 20 minutes. Yeah, it's so, I'm like,
you explaining that to me. Do you remember I can't remember what Austin Powers is. I think it's the second one where he's telling Dr. Evil, he says, why, if you have the power to go back in time, why don't you just kill him when he's a baby? Mm-hmm. And, and Dr. Evil says, you just don't get it, do you, Scott? You don't. And that's what I had in my mind. Like, if you could kill him so soon, why are you explaining things to him?
Yeah. And also, so like the agency that does this hypnotism thing, there's like this play that they act out. They make it seem like they've done it maybe 20, 30 times. And so there's like this repeating sequence of events, to get everyone back into remembering things. And like part of that sequence of events is that when Ben Affleck comes out of his therapy session, walks out the door and like steps on a cockroach. It's like a pen cap, I think, in real life. But it's like, so you have to do that whole stepping on the cockroach thing like every time. Like, how does that like add to your plan? I don't like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if you've seen the movie, yeah, you'd be like, why are you doing this sequence over and over again? Like, I don't know.
I know it was at the Alamo for a few weeks, and then is it on Hulu now or something?
I actually just rented it out of Redbox because I was like, I can't wait for this to be on streaming. I gotta find out what this twist is. It's a movie where I saw the trailer back when it came out. I was like, it doesn't look great, but I'll give it a shot. And then when I heard like it has layers upon layers, like I was like, I gotta know. So yeah, I did a Redbox. I paid like $6 for it. Didn't realize I could not do 4K. Save $1. Would have been fine. But yeah. So yeah, Hypnotic. It's, if you want to be baffled in like a B movie kind of way, give it a shot.
Nice.
Yeah, what'd you watch?
I've been traveling all week and with Fan Expo this week. The only thing I've watched is my kid wanted to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark again before he went and saw the new Indiana Jones. So, yeah, I watched one of the greatest, adventure movies of all time. It's still fantastic. I still love that movie. My boy loves the part where he's fighting the Nazis on the truck,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I watched this week.
Did the face melting freak him out?
No, he thinks it's cool.
He's pointing and laughing the whole time, like, Nazis.
Yeah, he's like, those Nazi fascist fucks get what they deserve. I was like, whoa, Dallin. Way to hit it right on the head. Good job, buddy.
I'll let you have that one. Actually,
Yeah.
that reminds me from earlier. I meant to say, like, I did think it was cool that Voeller's motivation was that he did believe in the Nazi plan. He just thought Hitler sucked.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fun
he
twist
said that
on
to
like
that one bellman. He said, "You didn't win the war. Hitler lost it."
yeah, I thought that was a fun twist on the whole. You know, he's not out to support Hitler. He's like, I agree with his ideas. I just don't think he's the right leader for us. Yeah.
So yeah, that's really all I watched this week.
Cool.
Yeah. Stay tuned next week. I'm changing it up, Brad. You know, we haven't done a comedy in a long time. So I threw a curveball and said, No Hard Feelings will be our film of the week.
That's cool. I could use a laugh.
Yeah. Thanks for everybody again who stopped by our booth and made us have so much content that we actually ran out of power at our booth.
That's right. Yeah.
To record. So we appreciate it. They are coming, and we'll see you at the movies.
Whatever happened to those guys who were going to do that Jurassic Park thing?
Yeah, they never came back.
That's a bummer. So I was super excited for that.
Yeah, my only guess is they might have got busy too.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep. See you at the movies. Bye.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot. Well, a real nerd can follow the plot. And a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action. Real nerds.
Thanks for listening to Real Nerds Podcast, a Nebulous Visions production. Stream or download episodes, read articles at realnerdspodcast.com. Stream us on Apple or Google Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. Twitter and Instagram at Real Nerds. Watch us on YouTube, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. Call us at 720-6nerds5. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill, Mike at Plan 9 Studios, and Bolognium for all of our groovy theme songs. And that's how you fucking do it!